Test. Okay. Looks like the mic is working. Is it just me, or, like, does the aspect ratio look weird? I think it's probably just me. Let me go get this stream on the Discord. And ping the roll. Okay. And let me go get chat up. Okay, looks like that's functional. Okay. So, it's been a while since the last stream. Oh, I need to also make sure I'm recording. Okay, it's been a while since the last stream. Part of it was that I was busy in real life, but then part of it is also just I was thinking of streaming a couple times, and then I was looking at what I would need to, like, keep track of, and I was like, I don't feel like dealing with this right now, because there are a lot of things that we're gonna need to do in this stream. This is the Mamluk War, and I was planning on doing this Mamluk War for several of the past streams, but then stuff happened, and we didn't do the Mamluk War. But now we're going to be doing that, and I was also thinking, okay, I'm not going to be integrating Circassian for a while, but after thinking about it more, we probably should be integrating them ASAP. The reason is we have several missions we can do, like, say, Glasswares of Byzantium, Book of the Prefect, that just give a lot of nice bonuses. But more importantly, the Seam System mission in our mission tree requires us to temporarily own 10 states, which may seem impossible as an OPM, but per our rules, we are allowed to own other provinces as long as we don't unpause the game while owning them. So as long as we own 10 states for one singular day, we can complete this mission. And then we just, on the exact same day, we just give them away. And then I almost forgot. I need to reassign or redistribute the land in Crimea. I initially gave it to Bulgaria. That was a mistake. I'm going to go seize province and give this to Georgia, because Georgia needs this for a mission. And it's just better if we have our Pranoia own this land anyway. Oh, should I, like, delete any buildings here? We have a church, courthouse, farm estate, marketplace. Yeah, those are all good buildings. I guess we could delete a church. We probably want naval force limit instead of a church. Yep. Because Georgia needs more wine provinces to build manufactories. And now Bulgaria will be angry at us, so let's see. Turnovo has development cost, but this is a cheaper province. So we should probably just develop Burgas. Okay. And now all of our subjects are not mad at us for the time being. I'm sure they will be mad in the future again. And we should also keep in mind we need 2 Pranoias that will be very loyal. One of these can be Georgia. The other one is probably going to be Maria. And that should fit the requirements. So I'm going to go cancel curry favors from Austria. I don't think we need them in, like, any particular wars. It sure would be nice to have them against Spain. But we can't fight Spain for the next while anyway. And the question is, do we even want to? I was thinking about, vassals in Italy as well, because we would preferably want some way to benefit from this Genoa node ourselves to trade, because, you know, there's 50 ducats in here. The thing is, most of the vassals that you can get from Spain have their capital in the Valencia node. In particular, Aragon is the first vassal that I'm sure most people would think of. But we probably shouldn't release Aragon, or at least, just Aragon, because their capital is not in the Genoa node, it's in the Valencia node. Theoretically, it could be possible to say release them from Sassari, except it isn't because it's not the right culture group. So even though Aragon has a core on Sassari, we wouldn't be able to do that. So we want a vassal. We want, like, for example, we want one vassal, or Pronoia, in the Genoa node for the future, that will have their capital in the Genoa node, and will get basically all the Genoa trade centers. We're going to feed one Pronoia, let's say, all the trade centers in Genoa, and we could do Venice as well, probably. And then we would divert trade from that vassal to get all of that value ourselves, and then we would have another vassal, a personal union, for example, that we would feed. We would have it as a capital in the Genoa node. For example, Sardinia would be a good candidate, and then we would feed Sardinia the rest of Western Europe as a PU. And we would also probably feed one of our two vassals to Malta forts. But that's that's a different problem. Right now we need to deal with the Mamluks. And we don't want to go below 20,000 manpower in this war. We need to stay above that permission. And we also want to fix our armies, because we have 27 combat wits, but only 21 artillery. So I'm going to go recruit a few more artillery to get max combat wits. Okay, that should be good. So that should really help us in combat. Although it's obviously overkill for the Mamluks, it could be useful against someone else, and we still just want to minimize casualties. So we'll start moving our troops down, even though we can't declare for, I believe, another year. Yeah. So we won't raise maintenance just yet. But we will probably get Miltech 12 before this war. We do want the better unit type, and what else are we going to spend these mill points on, let's be honest. We can also, like, stop improving relations here. And I think I'm just going to start annexing Sirkizhan. I don't really see a reason not to. I'm just going to double check I don't, like, own any other provinces somehow. Nope. February 1550. Let's just double check that that works, that we're not planning on being at a war in 12 years. So we're obviously going to be fighting the Mamluks. That war will probably take, what, 2 years, maybe? Let's just say it will probably take until 42. Then we're going to be releasing Fatal. We'll get a 5-year truce, so that will be until 47. I'm sure we can finish up a war with Fatal within 1 or 2 years, so that won't be 3 years. When's our truce with QQ end? 43? Okay, so war ends 42, truce ends 47, say we'll be declaring on Fatal in 47. Yeah, this should work. Okay, I'm just gonna start integrating Sirkizhan then, and then we'll be able to get hopefully much lower Liberty Desire after we annex and re-release this vassal. It is going to be a waste of about 1,000 Diplo points, but I don't really see a better way to do this. The better way would be to make it a Pronoia and inherit it, but we can't predict when we would be inheriting Pronoias, so even though it's free, it wouldn't really work for the rules of this challenge. I guess you could with enough save scumming, but that would take a very, very long time. And then I should figure out, what nations I want to curry favors with. I guess I could improve with Syria for the time being. Although, I have some favors I can turn in with Georgia that I probably should. Okay. Now Georgia's down to 35. Good enough. Have a lot of soldiers when we put them all in one place, but it's a ton of mercenary companies that are just way undersized. So it's really annoying to micro. We also probably want to take this religious war's age ability, but there's no reason to yet. I'll use my last diplomat to go improve with Syria. And on gov reforms, I guess we do technically have the option of becoming a republic if we really wanted plutocratic ideas for 10% liberty desire and subjects. This would be like our last chance to do that. Probably should have done that earlier, actually, to raise the skill level of our Basilius. Actually, we may still be able to do that later, now that I think about it, because as long as we only re-elect the candidate repeatedly, like, it shouldn't be an issue. So if we wanted to, like, raise Alexios's skills, we could do that. We would only lose to PU, I believe, if we, like, changed ruler. Gonna take some unnecessary attrition here. I also want to start revoking some privileges because the burghers have a bit of an uncomfortably high level of influence, but we can't do that for the near future. I was thinking building some buildings, but we don't have the construction edict on. And we only have Persian manufactories anyway, which aren't going to be that helpful. Our vassals are at least doing well economically. Although, after we complete the mission, I'm thinking we just break our alliance with Serbia, because I really want Kosovo for one of our vassals. It would be a significant economic boost. Where is autonomy? Okay, Anatolikon is the main problem autonomy-wise. Every other vassal is basically fine with autonomy. I guess Circassian is a bit of an issue as well, but we don't care about them because they're going to get annexed. Yeah, we may as well just take Militech 12. We're going to need it before the Mamluk War. And I'm taking the offensive ones just because I want to, like, stack wipe more armies. Then I should probably start raising maintenance as well. and not mossballing my fleet. 15 heavies should be more than enough for any combat wits, yeah. Our admiral isn't great, but whatever. Where even was he assigned? He was assigned to our trade fleet? We could consider the Free Company. It would put us, like, marginally over force limit. Yeah, I don't really see why not. And then the object of this war is just to get as many of Syria and Fadl's cores returned as possible. I was thinking about whether or not to make Syria into Cronoia, and I'm still a bit unsure about it, because we really could use some more naval force limit. It's kind of sad how little force limit we have, but it's not that important. The relationship slot would be the bigger concern. But then the Liberty Desire is the counter-argument to that. Of course, the difference between a Cronoia and March in terms of Liberty Desire is fairly large, but I'm probably going to make Syria a Cronoia. I think we can handle the increased Liberty Desire. Like, we don't have anyone close to rebelling right now, and we will be losing Fadl as a vassal. We'll get them back as a personal union, of course, but that doesn't negatively impact Liberty Desire the same way vassals do. Of course, the micro for these armies is going to get ridiculous. Like, it's already ridiculous how many mercenary companies we have. I think I'd rather lose admin at this point. Yeah, what are we going to do with admin points? They're literally just for deving our vassals. I guess we could also dev Constantinople with tax, but why? I guess if we do one more point of tax, we can click the Repulse the Republic's mission and get more base tax. But that's a bit silly. We get 90 development for one more expand infrastructure click. And we should build a workshop here. I think we need it for a mission later. Okay, we declare war in like 3 months, maybe 2. Yeah, might be 2. I guess I'd rather lose money than stab. And corruption is basically money, and not very much money for us. And I guess we can stop improving with Syria. They're at the cap. We can just have this diplomat waste a month or whatever, so that we can declare war instantly on the Mamluks. Okay. Finally got that truce ended. We have a few different nations that are allied here. Do any of them not have any allies besides the Mamluks? No, so not worth making any of these guys co-belligerents. Okay, the question now is what casus belli we want. So ideally we would do reconquest and just feed our vassals land. That's probably what I'm gonna do, actually. I also have this weird colonialism casus belli. I'm not really sure what makes it the way it is, but we could get like one quarter cost for a few provinces, but then everything else would be more expensive, so I'll just probably do return provinces to vassal. And I'll do maybe take Kor Halab as the war goal, since that's a nice fort. Yeah. It also gives like less aggressive expansion and stuff. And then anything that we don't want our vassals to have, we can take ourselves. We should probably have moved our fleet out earlier. And now we need to get our armies in position. So, let's see. Is this just a merc stack? Okay, let's get all the mercs. And you know what? 10,000 cannons to siege. And then we can have the rest of the cannons as, like, backup. Let's just put all these guys in backup, and then we'll have enough backup to do siege a second fort at the same time. Do we have any siege general? We do. Let's put a siege general on the siege. Okay, 54 Mamluk ships should still die to 15 heavies. Yeah. We have more than our engagement widths of heavies. Okay. Let's start sending the merc companies forward. And actually steal some of these companies so that we can get like a decent cavalry ratio on both of these. And then we can split this cav stack in half. Half can go to one siege, half to the other siege. And this looks like a decent support stack. Send this in as well. Mamluks are just ignoring our main forces and going for Egypt. That kind of makes sense. Okay, didn't lose a single ship. That's good. And let's go siege this. And we can split up our reinforcements. Well, actually, we should not have this many troops. This implies we have, what, 30k frontline? Yeah, that's more than we need, isn't it? Yeah, we can leave out a few infantry at least. We can leave out all of these infantry. This guy can go sit on the siege. Okay. This should be a good split of troops. And then we'll also try and make separate peace with one of the Mamluk allies to get a shorter truce. Yeah, they're 2 techs behind now. I don't think they have very good chances. They're also not very good at sieging this fort. We lost effective trading in clothes? No! My 5% trade efficiency. That actually hurts. That's like 5 ducats. Oh, I guess I can keep our light ships to continue protecting trade. I guess they already are. Okay, most of our army is kind of just sitting here now, though. Just need the siege to go through. There we go. And I suppose we can go for some action. Although we should probably just siege, to be honest. We can have half the army go for some action and half siege, actually. No, we should just fully commit if we plan on warring. And probably fighting at the beginning is better anyway. So let's go group everyone up. Let's get all our mercs in the front row, so we don't lose manpower for no reason. Okay, this is what, 20k of mercs? And then we get... oh, we have even more mercs. Okay. 24,000 mercs. How's our front line? Okay, we can add in some cav to the front line. That'd be good. And then we can have, what, the rest of these mercs as support, I suppose. Yeah. And then we can also add in the cannons from all of our stacks. So that should be a full combat width of cannons as well. This is going to be a very disorganized army, but whatever. It's going to get worse, not better, later on. Okay, it's good we decided to go for the army. They're already minus 21%. Georgia can deal with its own separatists. I don't think I can build any manufactories here, can I? No. Okay, so here's our army. Our main stack. Okay, there's still more cannons incoming. 69,000 troops. That's a bit overkill. I feel like I had more cannons. 20. Okay, I guess one of the cannons is probably in a merc stack. I don't particularly want our cannons to be frontline, so let's just make one of the mercenary companies the main force. Let's do the free company. Yeah, and then everything can attach to the free company. I love how it just says company, doesn't even specify a name. Okay, so if we move the free company now... okay, there's still a few detached units. I'm sure one of these armies has a decent general. But I can't be bothered to double check. Okay, so this has more frontline than necessary. We can have our other troops sit back and watch, just in case reinforcements are needed. Price of coffee changes by plus 50%. I don't think we have any coffee. Okay, their entire army instantly runs. Man. They just wanted some battles. I don't think we're gonna get any battles, though. Okay, maybe something over here? Okay, looks like we will. We just need to consolidate 5 different armies for this. Okay, I think that's good enough. So we rolled a 0, but we have a 10% discipline advantage, a 0.5 tactics advantage, and a full backline of cannons. I think we're gonna do fine. What cannons are we even using? So we're using the ones that give a defensive pip and 2 offensive pips. Okay. I don't think we need anything from Prestige. We can take some Prestige. Huh, these casualties are surprisingly close. With us rolling a 9, we're still taking like half the casualties they are. And it's not bad, but I expected better. Oh, I think it's because we have like a lot of cavalry. That's probably it. Yeah, this is the fire phase, isn't? This is the shock phase. Do they have a lot of cavalry? I'm not sure why we're taking as much damage as we are. We can send in some extra cavalry, I suppose. Yeah, now we're taking more damage into the shock phase. I honestly expected that to be more decisive. We took like 60% of the enemy casualties there. But I guess we routed the Mamluk army, so that's probably worth something. And now we can split up our stacks a lot more. So let's go 1/3 cannons everywhere. And we can give each cannon a few merc stacks. Yeah, that's like 8k per. And then we can also like give some infantry. 7k infantry there. 7k here should be fine, and we can give each some cavalry as well. Just so I don't need to sit and micro each stack to worry about them getting attacked. And then our vassals can go siege the capital. Do we have them on siege? Yeah. That's good. Actually, let's go put them on... Yeah, aggressive. And we can have like one of these guys siege. Whatever. I guess they're gonna siege if they feel like it anyway. It's not like the enemy armies are really trying to get into battles, so it might be difficult to force them. We have a diplomat being wasted right now. Guess it could curry favors. Okay, yeah, this stack should easily be able to kill all of these armies. But I guess we may as well support it with some extra infantry. Okay, yeah, all of these guys are gonna get stack wiped. These outbreak, lovely. I guess I get punished for not microing each siege. Okay, we got trading clothes again, which is nice. That's an extra 5 ducats per month. We also have a truce with Spain, so could we theoretically get Austria in? We couldn't get Milan in? Seriously, New Milan? I guess we could ask them to prepare for war, and I think that would make it more likely. Let's go improve relations, so we'll always be able to get them to prepare for war. And let's go separate out these stacks. So that we can go siege all of this. Yep, the one downside of not microing our vassals constantly is they can get into bad engagements, like right there. At least they won the siege for us. Okay, slunk the flagship, would have been nice to capture it. Let's go heal. Get the rest of our cavalry in. I'm also gonna, like, go take our manpower troops off here. At least I don't think any enemy armies should be attacking that fort. Or if they do, we should have plenty of notice. Okay. This should be clear numerical superiority. Yeah, and we have a full front line as well, plus more cannons, even if we don't have a full back line of cannons. Okay, let's aim to separate peace Yemen. So we need to siege Yemen's stuff, basically. Okay, 10k to like 6k is fine, I suppose. I'm wondering where the stack is going. I'm gonna move these guys here so I can have these all attached to one. Let's make this like the second army. The Janissaries can lead it. Actually, can I get you to... I can get you to go there first. I don't think there's any army that's strong enough to stop us here. So yeah, let's just get Yemen pieced out first. We can worry about the in-between force later. Okay, we got another trade efficiency guy. Does this guy have cost? He is not. Okay. And this guy is Greek, so we should be able to promote him. There we go. Gotta love the advisor discounts. Okay, we have a Mamluk army just sitting here. Okay, let's maybe not cross over a river if we don't need to. Let's try and get some reinforcements here to make this battle a bit cleaner. But we do want to stack wipe this 22k. Okay, this should be good. Okay, so we have cavalry that should be flanking, and we do have most of a front row of cannons. This should be a good engagement. We don't seem to be getting any stack wipes, though, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's go have this guy siege the in-between fort. Honestly expected the casualty ratio to be better. I guess the problem is our mercs don't have our tech level. Maybe we can stack wipe this 12k. Although it looks like the armies are combining, so it's going to be harder to stack wipe them if they're together. Yeah. Oh well, we'll try. Okay, maybe we'll stack wipe them this time. You can also, like, stop paying for some of these forts. I think only that fort. Oh, did our 1k vassals just stack wipe the Mamluk army? I think they did. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, well, this war should be over quickly then. Minus 21%, really? Hmm. Okay, we could bring Milan in. I don't want to declare war on Spain yet. Wait, actually. Yeah, I don't want to declare yet because I don't think I can release vassals while at war, can I? Oh, I can. That'd be interesting. I just assumed that that wasn't something you could do. I'm still not entirely sure how that would work. Should also figure out what I want in the peace deal. I think I'm just going to take this preemptively. Let's say I give this to Syria and the rest to Faddle. Like, how many provinces do I even need for this mission? I need 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, are these even in the area? No, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or something. Maybe I should make Syria a Pronoia, like, now. Because I won't be able to once they're over 100 dev. And they do have cores on a lot of this stuff. I don't know. I'm like still building more troops as always. Let's go get some infantry sieging stuff too. This is a very quick war. I'm surprised we're making less money now, actually. Wallachia and Hungary are stealing trade from Crimea. How's AE looking? Not amazing. Okay, I don't need this army to go off into the middle of nowhere. Like, the war is gonna be over before it gets anywhere useful. I guess it's good that our vassals are seeking down enemy armies. Can we white peace these guys yet? No. It'd be funny if we could enforce religion on them. Actually, no, it looks like we can't. The option isn't even showing up, huh? Wonder why. Move some transports over so we can start sieging Cyprus with our cannons. This has been a pretty efficient war overall, I'd say. I wonder where the Mamluk armies are, though. They're probably in, like, Russia or something, heading over to, like, siege Georgia, if I know my vassals, and the enemy AI. The amount of troops that are just sitting here is kind of silly. Okay, let's go separate these cannons. Let's go defend our transports, just in case. Getting very unlucky with the siege here, which is unfortunate. Gonna delay our white peace and subsequent wars with the Mamluks. Where are the Mamluk troops? Okay, we won one siege. Do I care about army professionalism? I really don't. I also care about prestige, though. Ooh, but 100 mil power. Oh no, it's 15 mil power. None of these options are good. Would I prefer like 5 prestige or like a tiny amount of money and some mill power, basically? I guess I'll keep prestige. I can always like use prestige on like a vassal if needed, like Syria. Oh, and I should, like, go occupy more of this stuff. Okay, we finally won that siege. Let's go occupy this so we can, take it in the peace deal. I mean, I guess we don't need to. We can take it in the peace deal anyway because, Mamluks are the same war participant. They're not, like, an ally or anything. They're the main enemy. Okay, so we want the white piece Halab. And then, hopefully, we can declare war on Halab again in 5 years to get, a shorter truce with the Mamluks. So that in 10 years, we would be able to declare war again. And I think we just want a white piece. I can't think of anything else. I wish there was some way to, like, fix envoy travel time. Is there, like, a monument for that? I feel like there is. I think it's like the city of something. It's not like we can use monuments anyway, though. Like, we need to relocate the monument to use it, and I think, like, 3 monuments are able to even be relocated. Oh, it's the city of Sarai, maybe? Yeah, envoy travel time. Wait, but we need to be, like, steppe nomads to use this. Why are there so many, like, overly specific requirements to use monuments? Oh well. Yeah, so I don't think we can really use monuments this run. And then we should also figure out, from this war, do we want to make, a new vassal in, say, Alexandria so that we can steer trade, from, like, as a PU, from the Gulf of Aden towards, Egypt? Because we could do that. The problem is we aren't necessarily going to have full control. Like, this is probably similar to the control we'll have. We'll only have, what, 56% trade power? We'll have more trade power later, after the breadbasket mission. Yeah, that's 100 trade power. That's, what, 20% more? We can obviously, like, go upgrade some more trade centers. Actually, it shouldn't be an issue, because we'll eventually be controlling Genoa and Venice as well. Yeah, so I'd be fine creating a new vassal, say, right here with its capital here, and we make it into a PU later. The question is when we should do that. Our Liberty Desire situation is currently looking fine. And we will lose one vassal. We'll lose Fattle after this. Well, let's figure out the main things we want in the peace deal first. First off, we want the centers of trade to go to Syria. And everything else can go to Fattle, I think. But how much dev is this? What? 20, so this is 50, 66, 87 dev already. Maybe we should just make them a paranoia before we do anything else. That could make some sense. And then we could feed them above 100% in the peace deal. And we could feed them like a whole lot of like coastal provinces as well. Like, what's the culture in this? This is all Syrian, so we could go like here, here. Yeah, that's gonna slightly decrease the amount of stuff we can take, because they have that, like, malice as a paranoia, but I think we want to make them a paranoia. We should be able to make them a paranoia next year. And then we just won't have to worry about this. I'm gonna make a save just in case we can't afford the Liberty Desire, but I think we should be able to. Like, right now, it's like our highest Liberty Desire is 38 with Bulgaria. Maria's like 15. Okay, yeah, that's not bad at all. And then when we give them land, that should make them happy. Hopefully we can give them plenty of land in the peace. Although now we have a separate problem of it's costing an absurd amount of war score to take provinces. How many do we need to just get this mission? 13, so we need 11 provinces in the region, and Rabat doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... 11 maybe? Why is this province more expensive? It's 9 dev? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That should satisfy the requirements for the mission. And then we can just redeclare in 10 years, I suppose. And it will give us 30 prestige, so 25 of that will be wasted, so we should use the prestige on a vassal, I suppose. Actually, what if we took the provinces ourselves? Yeah, that would let us take more land. Now, how much crown land would we lose? We lose like 5 crown land? That's probably okay. I think I could live with losing 5 crown land. We have permaclaims on the land. Then this would also give us the forts, which would be convenient for future wars. Of course, it would be nice if Syria wouldn't have these perpetually useless forts that would be costing maintenance, but I think we'll just have to live with that. They're not that useless, they just don't have defensive bonuses. And then how will this change Syria? Liberty Desire? By 13... Oh wow, all of the provinces at this point would be a huge gain to Liberty Desire. So maybe we should give more provinces directly. Like, Halab is giving minus 25 Liberty Desire. That probably just means that we don't need to focus Syria and Liberty Desire. Yeah, so we should focus, like, Moria, probably. Yeah, maybe 5 crown land isn't worth taking, what, 1 extra province? I mean, having Jerusalem would be nice, but I don't see what it does for us. I don't think there's any actual benefit to Jerusalem. Yeah, so we shouldn't just not have crown land for no reason, so we should give this to Syria and have Syria take it. Wait, this province won't be able to be cored by Syria. because Fatal won't be our vassal anymore. Yeah, so we should take it ourselves. Wait, we also want to be taking a province here, so we can declare war on Yemen in the future. Right. So what if we gave this to Egyptus? That should be enough to get them to make a claim on Yemen if we set it as vital interest. And then we can use that claim as a casus belli. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 provinces there. Okay, this should be the optimal peace deal. I'll go save. I'll go save after. We already just saved. And then this should be good. Oh, we need to spend the prestige, otherwise we're gonna have overflow prestige. Georgia is the closest to having problems. I think I'm gonna go spend prestige 2 on Maria, though. Now let's do, yeah, let's do Maria. And now we should be able to click this mission. Yep. And now we had a claim on the Egypt stuff, and then we can just give our provinces to Syria. And let's double check they don't have any useless buildings we want to get rid of. Nah. Now we can also divert trade. Okay. So I'd call that a successful war, especially considering how easy it was. And now for the tougher part. We want to convert this Fatal subject into a personal union. So what we need to do is break our vassalization after putting a guy on their throne. So this is the RNG part. We might need to save scum a few times to get a ruler that works for this, but I'll tell you guys how this works. Okay. And by the way, we didn't take war reps or anything from Mamluks. First off, because land is more important right now. And second off, because we're gonna have a truce of only like 10 years for this. Because we're going to be declaring on Yemen in 10 years, hopefully. I don't think I own any other provinces, do I? No. Okay, we eclipsed Mamluks. Nice to see. And now I'll try this strategy. So first what we need to do, let's go save the game. Because this is RNG. Literally just RNG whether or not this works or not. Okay, so first we need to convert our vassal to our religion. So this will obviously anger them. but as long as they're loyal beforehand, it doesn't matter. And now, they're still loyal, so we can royal marry them, but it won't do anything. So instead, what we're going to do is place relative on throne. This will change their liberty desire by even more, but that's still fine because we're going to be releasing them soon anyway. So we just want a Paleologos on their throne with a weak claim heir. Specifically below 21, I think, is the requirement. So we'll check the heir. And unfortunately, this will not work. So the legitimacy of the heir is random each time. So it can be anywhere from, like, I don't know, somewhere in the teens to, like, this is the very high end we got. Very unlucky with 33 legitimacy. And if it has a sufficiently low legitimacy heir, we can royal marry them, break vassalization, and 5 years later, we can PU them with a proclaim union casus belli. Unfortunately, right here, this isn't really gonna work. Because they have a decent claim. Now, I wonder if we can check legitimacy. But it doesn't really matter because the claim strength is awful. So this is an Alt F4 moment, and we're going to try again with a hopefully better heir. And this may take several tries. Again, we can't really do anything to influence this, besides just trying it over and over. It's random each time. But this is how you hypothetically convert a vassal into a personal union. Okay, and we just do the exact same thing until we get a ruler with a low enough legitimacy for this to work. So here we have a claim strength of 7, but that's the previous ruler, so it won't work. So we enforce religion, place relative on throne, and 12.3! Okay, we got lucky. Only one restart required. Normally it takes longer. But super weak claim strength is perfect here. So what we can do now is royal marry them. And now, even though they have an absurd liberty desire because they have plus 125, it doesn't matter. We'll just break vassalization. Well, maybe we can trade in favors and then break vassalization. And then we'll just declare war on them to make them a PU. And we'll also be, like, sending our army back for a war against Spain soon. Maybe we can even separate peace to Commonwealths there. Miltech 12 is going to be annoying to fight. The Commonwealth is going to be annoying to fight. They have quality ideas. But we should hopefully have decent quality anyway, and as long as we, like, focus down to the Commonwealths first and separate peace them, it shouldn't be too bad. We could even, like, take some land. Yeah, like, this is a decent amount of trade power that's up for grabs here. We want to expand Bulgaria a bit, I don't see why not. Let's start moving our armies up here. again, we can't do anything with Fadal for 5 years. That's how long the truce is. But I'm surprised we got the second try. We could declare on QQ soon. Does QQ want Fadal's land? Yeah, they do. So we'll need to declare on QQ basically as soon as our truce expires, but that shouldn't be too bad. The question is, do we wait to declare on the Commonwealth to seize land first? I think we do. I do want to keep my crown land up to hypothetically get some reform progress in and like absolutism and stuff. Although it's going to get destroyed anyway, like when we go fight Spain, so I don't know if there's really a point. There probably isn't. Yeah, so we'll probably just declare war on Spain and Commonwealth soon, and we'll have Austria. I need to double check Austria isn't a great power. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, so we'll have Austria, Milan, and Serbia are not very good allies, but they're the only allies we're legally allowed to have against Spain and the Commonwealth, and I think we actually might have a troop advantage. We absolutely do not. Okay, we might have a slightly less of a disadvantage if we get Milan in. They have like 40k, so that's not too bad of a disadvantage. So again, I'm just going to trade favors for trust, and then release vassal. And then we're releasing the vassal next month. Now we do unfortunately lose 25 prestige from this, but oh well. But now we should be able to claim throne. Yeah, we can claim throne. That will be next month's. So this means we lose another 20 prestige, so this costs 45 prestige, but we can get a personal union. Oh, we also lose relations with basically all of our vassals and allies. Oops. I wonder if it reduces trust. This is what, 50 and 19? I suppose we should probably declare the war against Spain first, and then... let's ask them to prepare for war. Where is it? Okay, now they're willing to join. And we don't outnumber our enemies, we're still outnumbered, but we're outnumbered by less. So we could also see about declaring on Commonwealth directly, but yeah, then we couldn't get Austria. Yeah, so we'll just be taking like money and maybe a tiny bit of land from the Commonwealth, nothing huge. And we should pick a decent war goal. Like, how is the Spanish Navy looking? Actually, I'm sure we can beat the Navy, so... what province do we want? I guess we could do, like, Messina? Let's do Malta, actually. That feels like a fairly easy war goal. And then we are just barely below them on the land, troop count, but that should be fine. They have, like, Portugal and the Commonwealth, but half of both of these guys' troops should be in the New World, so I don't think this is nearly as many troops as it says. Naples is a vassal, though? Right, Naples is a PU. I don't think we can get Naples as a PU. We could get them as a vassal with the transfer vassal, but I don't think that that would make them a PU, which is unfortunate. Okay, now we wait for the allies to join. Okay, our allies joined the war. And now we can claim throne on Fatal. So will this decrease trust? So we have 136 and 50. Wow, that's minus 50. That's a big hit. Okay, that's a significant trust penalty. Oh well. I guess we should also start moving our other troops here. Oh, I'm surprised Spain just has troops lying around there. Let's get some, like, let's get 2 regiments to go siege that Malta province. And we can send this once our ships are healed. Why do we have so little trade power? Hungary has 4% trade power. This is annoying. I want Hungary to die. We should also eat Wallachia at some point. They're stealing some trade. Yo, glad to finally catch one of these live. I've been keeping up with the VODs, but the timing never worked out for the streams. Haha. Welcome, Zodius. Yeah, I did take a bit of a break for these, and sorry about the timing. I'm hoping, again, to stream these a bit more often, but no promises. I'm somewhat bad at predicting when I'll exist. Again, I'm always taking the minus trade power over the minus diplo power for these events. I don't think the 10 diplo points is worth a tiny trade difference in money. I don't think it ends up to, like, more than 10 ducats or whatever. Even if it is more, I doubt it's significantly more. It is important to note, like, how we're keeping our economy up during the war. We don't want to be too over force limit, like, we're at 111 right now, over 93. But I don't really want to kill troops at the moment, because we're fighting the Commonwealth and Spain. One thing I should do, I got professionalism, didn't I? Yeah. Let's go slacken recruitant standards so we can get a bit more manpower. I'm not sure how our allies are doing at sea. I don't think they're doing too great. We could use more cannons, and we don't need all of these manpower troops on the fort. Okay, we need more troops around Austria, so Austria doesn't get immediately kicked out of the war. What graphics mod is it? I believe I'm running graphical map improvements. I change my graphics mod every once in a while. I can confirm that like after the stream when I start up EU4 again, or if I do like a restart. But that's the main graphics mod I use. Oh, we can get a free tax in Constantinople. I mean, I say free. I mean, it gives it costs some money, which is negligible, and then gives Emporoi some influence. I was kind of hoping to get rid of some privileges from these guys, but I think it's fine. I'd like the base tax. Then we can get to 90 dev in Constantinople and expand infrastructure again. Yeah, let's click this then. This will also help our economy, trade power-wise. There you go. And it's probably going to take like another month or two to update, but we should have slightly more trade power. Maybe it did already update and it just went from 90 to 91%. Okay, let's repair our ships. Okay. 80,000 Commonwealth troops is not really what I wanted to face right now. I think I'll take monthly autonomy change. I think that's a perfectly okay penalty. Probably live with slightly more autonomy in Constantinople. Monthly autonomy in Constantinople. Okay, this is an absurd amount of Commonwealth forces. Perhaps I should not have joined a naval battle where our allies are losing ships constantly. Okay, I just need to speedrun Warsaw. So let's go get this fort next. Let's bombard this. We have so many different allied forces here, but none of them are grouped up. Maybe I can organize them if I tell my guys to attach. Oh, definitely 50 prestige here. Combat wits. We should maybe take this for... Yeah, we should probably take this. I think Spain has it already. Yeah, that's probably why we're getting destroyed at sea. Now, what's the new combat wits? 50 combat wits. So, it's probably more like 60, so we need, what, 30 heavies? Okay, that should get us up to combat wits. It's gonna take like 2 years, but that should be fine. I just hope Austria doesn't get like too annoyed with its capital being occupied, but we are sieging that down, so that should help. That 100k Commonwealth stack with squally ideas is terrifying. Yeah, I don't want to engage this. We just have like probably over 100k of allies just milling around in 1k stacks, and it's not very helpful. We don't have naval superiority either. We'd probably engage this fleet. Our ships are like nearly healed. Our allies, I feel like, are intentionally sabotaging us at sea. We're already down to half morale. That didn't feel like a victory. I don't know what's going on in this war. I should not have declared it. I don't even know what I want from Spain. I guess I want Sardinia to, like, release a PU. We just need to end this war in the next, like, 4 years. So that, we can declare on Fatal. I guess we don't need to. We can declare on Fatal just fine. We do kind of want to end it somewhat soon, though, because QQ might attack if they're at peace. Yeah, we're gonna have a chaotic next few years, because we need to deck on QQ in a few months to prevent them from declaring on Fatal. I don't want QQ stealing land from Fatal, because Fatal is going to be our personal union. I think I'm just gonna go for the reform progress. The draft is also tempting, though. 40,000 manpower. No, we could probably use 37,000 manpower. Annexation cost would also be nice. Save, like, 150 admin points. I mean, Diplo points, but we don't really need more Diplo points. Let's do reform progress. I hate that we're getting blockaded here. That's silly. Oh, we can get, like, a naval battery, can't we? To, like, not get blockaded any longer? Yeah, let's build that. Okay, let's speedrun the Polish capital. Okay, time to declare on QQ. I mean, it's not like they have any army, so it should be fine. We can, I don't know, have Mardin as the war goal, it doesn't matter. And let's get some cavalry to just siege random provinces. Oh, our trade fleet was still out there. Okay. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we can actually get, like, all of these troops out. I think the entire Commonwealth's force, basically, is just sitting there. Or at least the majority of it. Okay, I stand corrected. The instant I, like, make my army at all vulnerable, I get punished. Okay, let's just siege the capital. We'll lose 1k. "13th of July at Lublin." That sucks. I just do not want to engage this army. Why is this at 78%? I'd assault fort, but I really can't be wasting manpower here. Let's at least get the infantry off of this. This is like the bare minimum to assault, to keep the siege going. Going for Constantinople, maybe. Do I have the Theodosian walls? I do have the walls, I think. How much offensiveness? 113% defensiveness. So at least the capital should hold out for a while. If it comes down to that. I don't want it to, though. Can get some devastation and stuff, even if we don't lose the province. Are you planning on taking any land from Commonwealths? Mainly I just want them out of this war. If I could, in theory, Bessarabia would be nice, and maybe Jettison, but I don't think we're getting that. I just want to white peace them so we can kill Spain. That's the main thing. Because look at these armies. These armies are terrifying. That army just stack wiped 17k Hungarians. Okay, we finally got Lien back. So Austria shouldn't back out of the war. I'm not saving this 19k stack. Okay, I am, because I won the siege. Okay, let's attach to the Free Company. I guess we can test our army once against the Poles, since we have our other army so close by. I just think we'll be taking heavy casualties. And let's do Krabats here, and this can attach to Krabats. Okay, so they have higher morale than us, and everything else is basically equal. But I think they also have like 33% cav combat ability and quality ideas. So yeah, not a fight I want to be taking. We won, but we took higher casualties than they did. Not a good sign. At least they should be They're not willing to peace out. Okay. Then I guess what we do, we have this stack. Maybe try and stop this Commonwealth stack's rampage. Or we could just siege Krakow. Probably siege Krakow. And then this bottom stack can maybe go after this 28k. Actually, no, this stack should go after the 28k. Okay, we can at least stack wipe the Swedes. That's good to know. Let's go save our allies. Even if we don't really want to. And we should probably have these guys reinforce. As much as I hate probably losing the siege because of it. Yeah, we can go reinforce this later. Look at this. We are almost losing with double the numbers. And they have too many cav. They have a tactics penalty right now. This is not a good engagement. We have at least, what, 16k, 20k allies here? Maybe we can do something? I need more than that to do anything useful, though. I really hope this siege tick doesn't go through. Okay, 28%, we should be good. Yeah. Let's go attack with our allied forces. This should easily win against this 28k leaderless force. And we can assign our best general. Okay, we do have a tactics penalty, despite... Yeah, I guess the default had too many cavalry, that's a bit sad. We have enough infantry to not have that penalty. Okay, good. We no longer have the penalty. And now they're trying to siege back their capital. Even against a leaderless army, we're still taking absurd casualties. We took, like, basically the exact same casualties here, and we have, like, a 9-pit general advantage, like 4.5 in each phase. Okay. When can we white peace these guys? We're like 15 reasons away. If we just carpet siege, we should be able to do that. The problem is the Poles are amazing at picking off any random regiments I send to carpet siege because AI micro. But we can try. Let's try and engage the Portuguese Navy as well. I'd rather not have to wait until we have a full stack of engagement with heavies if I can help it. At least the Malta war goal is working out. I was worried the AI would like land some troops, but the AI sucks at naval warfare even more than I suck at micromanaging a two-front war, so we're good. Oh, I should also get rid of the embargo against Mamluks. Okay, let's try and catch this Naples fleet. Okay, we can just heal then. Let's get rid of our non-combat ships from here. And we can put these in like adjacent provinces to hopefully dissuade. Why can I not? Yeah, the AI is so confident in its ability here, and it's scary. Not just because they might win battles, which they are, but they're also going to be causing more battles, which means an absurd amount of casualties for both sides. And I obviously care about my casualties taken much more than the Polish casualties taken. Let's go heal back up. So we are kind of winning at sea. We're at least not getting blockaded. We're just also not blockading anything. And we have 80k troops just sitting in the Polish countryside taking attrition. And more troops just walking into this 30k. At least we're stack wiping some smaller Polish forces now. When can we peace out? Maybe 7 months. Okay, we lost 1.5k for no reason. Yeah, they have so much morale. We also rolled a 1. But, like, we have an insane numerical advantage. We have a full back row of artillery here. We should be winning. Again, against a much smaller Polish force, we took more casualties. And I'm sure we are taking even more from attrition. Why are the Poles so confident? They just keep on throwing their men into the meat grinder. And it's annoying because, like, I'm dying from this more than they are. Okay, we are just taking a white peace with these guys. I mean, I guess we could try and break their alliance with Spain. Actually, that might be a good idea. We should probably try and at least break the alliance with Spain for the future. Actually, no. We don't need to. We can just get Spain to break the alliance with the Commonwealth. We don't need to do this via the Commonwealth side. Yeah, let's just sue for peace. And then we can declare onto the Commonwealth again soon if we really want to. Okay. Now we can get all of these soldiers onto a much more useful front. Let's send, like, most of them to Spain. Yeah, let's just send most of them to Spain. I don't care about the war with QQ. Okay. And then I also don't need to divide my attention up between two fronts. Well, mostly it was to one front. If Spain also had military at the same time, it would have been really bad. But luckily Spain is a paper tiger in terms of land military. I should probably have, like, one army deal with QQ. I think one army is enough for Italy. This is like a global conflict now. We had a front in the Commonwealth, we have fronts in Italy, Spain, we're also fighting in the Middle East. When is there not a conflict in the Middle East, I suppose, would be a better way of putting it. Go help our allies and vassals occupy Italy. Oh, and I should spend my admin mana. Can I dev Maria? Yeah, I can dev it twice. Okay. Such a stupid war to start, but I wanted more land, so... Should also, like, maybe be improving relations with some vassals. And then out of this war, I'm thinking we'll just take, some provinces in Sardinia to start working on the Italy, PU. And we will very, very slowly be conquering Italy. Although, I guess first, before we get a PU, we should possibly think about getting another Pronoia. Sicily could be a good Pronoia. It doesn't really matter where the capital is. We just want that Pronoia to own all of Italy as soon as possible, so we can divert trade and get all of, like, Genoa's trade money. We're getting a decent amount from Constantinople, but we should always try and get more. Yeah, we can see here Fatal is already helping us a lot trade-wise by sending money in from Persia. We're getting like 10 ducats from Persia, which is incredible. And that should only get better later on. When does our truce expire? 47. Okay, we have a few more years to finish this war up. Let's go separate out our transport fleet again. Yeah, and go blockade something with our military fleet. Okay, and it looks like we'll still have enough manpower to complete the mission. I was a bit worried, but we have like 38k actual manpower. We need like 9k to reinforce our armies, so that should be fine. We could blockade this fleet, and that's probably the best use of our fleet actually, to try and get some casualties on the opponent's side. cost 500 admin mana now to dev Constantinople. This is stupid. And we lost our admiral. That sucks. I generally don't know, what to spend my admin mana on now. Like, do I just keep on deving random vassals? It seems like that's what I just need to do. I guess I should focus deving Bulgaria, so that I can take another province from them to give to Georgia. Okay. We can keep on sending our guys over. Looks like Austria's already helping in Iberia, but we need to really send more guys down to Iberia to have an impact. Okay, we hold one heavy at least. And now we need more, another sink for our mill power, but we can take a reform. I think I want dynastic administration. Monarch admin skill is okay, I guess, but all estate influence I think is the main thing. None of these are amazing. Yeah, and then soon, hopefully, we can get... I'm not sure what, but like some later tier government reforms, I guess. We have a decent amount of modifiers. 500 mil mana just seems so absurd to justify to dev our capital. I think I'd rather dev Bulgaria a bit. And we can always dev Georgia as well. When's our army getting here? Okay, our army needs to go up there. Could also use a better admiral. We can also, like, liberate some provinces in Milan. We'll get a boost with Milan. Relations-wise, that should last for a bit. Don't really want to engage the main Spanish fleet yet. I want to wait until my heavies are done. Let's go... I guess we need to take the mountain fort first, so I guess we'll go do that. Hopefully 40,000 is enough to deter the Spanish from doing anything silly, like engaging us on a mountain fort in their territory. And then next war with some Mamluks. Hopefully we can take a lot of land. The Empore also lose some influence in a few years, so maybe we can take away their naval school rights, for example, or financial demand. Probably financial demand. We really don't care about tax. We're getting 9 ducats total from tax. I think we'll live without it. Okay, stack wide QQ. Should be able to get their capital now. And maybe we can transport these ships somewhere more useful. Or even are we getting more reparations from? Oh, France still. I forgot, it's like barely been any in-game time at all since the French War. Well, the France separate peace. We've just been doing so many different wars. And we do not need this many guys on a fort taking attrition. We can get rid of all of these units. Does QQ even have an army left? Yeah, they do. Yeah, let's do that. And that can go help re-siege allied fort. Here we go, our heavies are coming out. Okay, let's see what provinces we can develop for Bulgaria. I mean Georgia. Okay, now it's been improved 4 times, so it should get a dev cost reduction soon. Once they go complete that mission. Okay, we should have the advantage here. Yeah, it's just a lot of galleys and transports, it looks like. I wonder where the QQ army went, though. Okay, spices changes by 50%. I don't think we care. Our trade is still increasing, which is nice. Again, we are losing like a third of the trade from Crimea. But I think what we do is we break Spain's alliance with the Commonwealths, and we can try and like take some of the Commonwealth's provinces in Crimea at some point. I'm not sure though. Oh yeah, we should like disband our ships. We're way over force limit. Let's disband light ships. Still have a few too many transports. Yeah, that should be more reasonable. Yeah. We're also over force limit with army, but I think that we can't really do too much about that. Or we shouldn't do too much about that, I should say. We just don't have that much manpower. We're taking unnecessary attrition here. Okay, we lost some Chloroquois influence. I'm much preferring our estate influence now to what it was earlier. I'm still confused, though, where the QQ army is, and it's making me nervous. I'm worried I'm gonna get, like, stack wiped out of nowhere. Maybe my cannons. Whenever I don't know where the AI armies is, like, something... I get nervous something bad is gonna happen. Okay, we're losing all of our generals, which kind of sucks, but I suppose it's to be expected. They have been getting pretty old. Let's try getting a better admiral. This guy is, like, marginally better, I suppose. Maneuver is just insane. We still only have 18 heavies here. I guess our engagement list just sucks. Yeah, we needed a better admiral. More maneuver. Our navy tradition is just really bad. Okay, Commonwealths announced us as a rival. That makes sense. Well, I really don't want to fight them if I can help it, but I probably need to. At some point. Come on. 71%. Nope! That fort just doesn't feel like falling. And we're probably not going to peace out with QQ for a while. We want to declare on Fatal with the PUCB first. Which we can't do for another couple years. And then once we get Fatal as a personal union, then we can feed Fatal QQ's land. So that's why we're not peacing out with QQ. Okay, so Georgia completed that first mission that we got from developing Tbilisi. And they also completed that second mission, the Wineyards mission, which is good. That should give some more trade in Crimea, which we should be getting most of. I can't really complete this mission for them, though. They kind of need to do that themselves. Oh well, I guess I can just keep on deving Georgia. Probably Keti or whatever it is. Oh, does only the capital benefit from this? Oh, that's sad. Could also use some more cannons over here. Our fleet also needs to heal. I'll have it heal for 1 month. I want to transport cannons over to where they're actually needed, not some random war in the Middle East that we don't even want a piece out of. Oh, we see Ming. Cool. Okay, is Egyptus making any claims? Not yet. Hopefully Egyptus can go make a claim on Yemen. I think I set that as a vital interest. Yeah, so my goal here is I fed Egyptus this one province down here, and I set this province as a province of vital interest in Yemen. And I'm trying to get Egyptus to make a claim on Yemen so that in a year or so I can declare on Yemen and call the Mamluks in, and then peace out the Mamluks to get a 5-year truce after. And because we can do that 5 years after the Mamluk War, it would shorten the truce duration by 33%. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Egyptus is actually going to make a claim, which kind of ruins that plan. So I'm not really sure what I can do. I probably really can't do much. Guys, what are you all doing in Sicily? You guys know that, like, Spain has some forts we can be sieging. Or, like, you could be helping with anything else besides just chilling in Sicily. We have 73,000 men just chilling in Sicily. This is insane. Okay, I don't want to take even more attrition when our allies are already sieging that fort. Okay, that was a bit more than 1 month of healing, but we can go escort our transports now to go hopefully pick up some more men, some more artillery for the conquest of Spain. Okay. And the artillery should be arriving in, yeah, there. Good. Antioch, I think it is. I suppose we can send some cannons to the siege of Navarra. We lost effective trading in cloves? I guess Mamluks are recovering trade power. What? Hungary? Hungary just abandoned the siege! This sucks. Well, I guess they probably only had 1 siege progress anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. Oh well. We can declare on Wallachia. I see no reason not to do this. I mean, we're only in, what, 2 wars right now? It's not like we're gonna... I was gonna say it's not like we're gonna take any land for ourselves, but we might take land for ourselves. We haven't really figured out what we want from Spain. I guess... they are stealing trade power. Not really a noticeable amount, though, so I guess we just leave them be for now. We can always declare on them later, and it might be useful to have them be someone we can, like, call Poland into a war with or something. And I will be ending the stream soon, probably before I end the war. I didn't have, like, the most time to start streaming, but I did want to, like, just start streaming again to, like, get back in the habit. But I'm not gonna promise a stream, like, immediately after this or anything, but I do want to continue this war soon. Okay, we should be able to, like, send this artillery over to, like, help in Spain. I do always ping in the Discord when a stream does happen. Can I, like, catch this fleet? I don't think I can. Okay. Now we got trading clothes back for no apparent reason. And now we're capped on mill power again. Well, at least our advisors are being helpful. We're getting, like, minus infinite liberty desire with all of our vassals. We lost a transport? No, one of our allies lost a transport. Okay, we've got 4 cannons at least. That should help here. Not quite max cannons on 2 forts, but it should be better than what we had previously. Yeah. I think I'm going to end this stream here, and then next stream we should actually get Fatal as a PU. We set everything up this stream. I don't know why they still like us. They have 34 trust and friendly attitude. I guess because they're Orthodox and have our dynasty? Probably. It doesn't really matter that much. We'll get trust back once we make them into a personal union anyway. Before next stream, I do need to decide, that's the main thing that I'm not sure about, what I'm taking from Spain. Because first off, we need to kill Fatal. So we can't peace out Spain until we PU Fatal, because if we want to take any, like, provinces and release nations from Spain, then that would mean that we would need to take the land ourselves, and we can't release nations while at war. So we need to do the other wars first. So we would need to do the Fatal War, and to do that, we need to end the QQ War. And we are going to be gaining Call for Peace for a while because of that. So we probably don't want to drag the Spanish War on too long. Actually, it's fine, yeah, this Call for Peace will end. We just need to speedrun killing Fatal, that's the only important thing. And then in the Spanish piece, we are going to want one vassal, which will be eating basically all of the Genoa node. It doesn't really matter what vassal it is. It could even be one of our existing vassals, actually. Like, if we wanted, we could feed Maria all of the Genoa node. The problem is that then they would probably be collecting in Genoa, and then they would get a trade power penalty. So it would probably be ideal if we could release a nation in Genoa. And that could either be a nation that already has cores, so that we would take less aggressive expansion, for example, in taking those cored provinces, or it could be a client state for more liberty desire. And I think I'm more concerned about liberty desire. Yeah, I think I'm more concerned about liberty desire than aggressive expansion, so I think I'll take a province in, like, Sardinia or something. Actually, no, Sardinia will be the PU, so probably in Sicily. And then I'll either take Sicily as the nation and release, or I'll make a Sicilian client state. Client state would give, I think, 25% liberty desire. That's a lot of liberty desire. Yeah, so I'll probably do a client state. Wait. If I'm making this into a Pronoia, the liberty desire will not be a benefit any longer. So yeah, probably Sicily then. Sicily the nation. Okay. And then we could also, what is this? When will the Circassian integration be done? 60, I think? Annexation won't progress while they don't control their provinces? What provinces does Circassia not control? Oh my god. It hasn't been progressing for ages because they don't control Ibiza. That one province. I've been getting trolled. Okay, that's annoying. How long has this war been going on? Okay, we probably lost, like, 4 years of progress towards that integration. That kind of sucks, so it'll finish around 64, I think. Well, we can figure out all this stuff out next stream. Remember to, like and subscribe and join the Discord and everything. I assume, like, most people who are watching right now are, like, in the Discord already. These aren't, like, super mainstream streams or anything. And see ya, hopefully, somewhat soon as well.